Okay, day 2, part 2. 1998 Toyota Corolla, otherwise known as the Ole War Horse, getting his sanding the hood for this paint restoration of this hood. So as a recap, I used this Duplicolor here primer, sandable, fillable light series primer, and I used a whole can. I really put it on there. I let it dry for a good 40 something minutes. And now I'm going to be using 500 grit sandpaper on a drywall sander, hand sander. Good old water bottle to keep things wet, because I'm going to do some wet sand in here. And we'll see what we get. Okay? I do have a rubber block. I've already prepped the material using sea spray. And we'll just have out of here. I'm just really scuffing up the edges. There's a little rough in texture, and I just wanted to see how smooth it would actually get with the before I go to paint. That's all. Nothing crazy. I'm staying off the contour lines here. I can use another 500 grit sandpaper to get those contour lines, but I just want to get things a little smooth here, because if I can feel it in my hand, I know I'll definitely feel it more so in the when I go to paint it. And I'll scuff this up a little bit too. All right. Hey, I'm having some fun. I'm having some fun now. You can go circular motions. You can go this way. I try to avoid going up and down, because I don't want to see any visible. I find it, my scratches, I don't have as much scratches. The reason why I'm really just wet sanding is that I'm doing less time chalking out the what am I saying? Clapping out the cardboard. I mean the sandpaper. It got a little gritty up in here. I want to get up in there a little bit. But I believe overall, re-priming it with the white primer versus the gray was a good decision. As I knew, I could probably throw a lot of white paint on it, but eventually, I don't know, maybe it might bleed through. And heck, it was 2 weeks, like I said, 20 days prior. In day 1 of part 4, I believe, where it just sat. And like I said, I probably could have got by with it, but AbleCraft here ain't about getting by. I mean, I want this thing to last another 26 years, right? Why not? It's in 1998. Let's go 26 more years on this car. Alright. I'm going to bring you right here, closer to the action. Action Jackson. You guys might remember that film. Good old Carl Weathers. The late Carl Weathers. Yeah. Anyway, Here I go now. Let's get up in there. Keep it wet, keep it wet. It's about 80 degrees now. It's getting hot. Thankfully, I'm in a somewhat of a shady area, but I don't know how long the shade's gonna be. So I gotta get this done. At least get it the color. And then tomorrow, if necessary, I can come back and throw the clear on it. But we'll see. Oh yeah. And using this long sanding block, really, it just saves time. You can mess around with the little 3-inch rubber block, but... And it's funny, as I'm going over this, you can feel it. It's funny, you can, I'm just using light pressure with this 500 grit. It's what I have on hand. And you can really feel the difference. I mean, just right here, how it's actually smoother. So it's amazing. And I'm not doing anything crazy. Just doing my thing here. Taking my time. Just moving on. Just taking my time. Yeah. I did put a little, just a little tidbit of soap in here to help smooth it on, smooth the option. So right here I had a little bit of a misfire. I started the can. I don't know if you can see that on the video. I'll try to get up closer. So anyway, right here I started a can on the panel, but I have learned if you get like any droplets or something like that in from the gun, spray gun, or from your can, which is the case here, don't mess with it when it's wet. Just let it dry and then sand it out with the grit lower or a grit higher. I generally go a grit higher because I don't want to burn through what I put on there. I had a little bit of gray overspray action here, so I'm just gonna hit it while I'm here. It's the fender what I'm working on. I don't know if you can see it, but color will probably get it. But yeah, stuff's in there. Whew. Yeah. Oh, it's smooth. Ain't no telling that. Well, I'll shoot some color at it. Alright, so using the little glove here, just gonna feel what I got. I've heard the term orange peel, which looks like a little bit of peeling of an orange texture wise. And how you get that out is aren't filling the paint, that is by a light sanding. And I've used guide coat and stuff like that, which is like a black spray paint to get the high and low areas. You know, when you're sanding. Not doing that here, obviously. I'm not going to do that. I'm just using my hand, and then when I put the clear coat on, I'll buff it and go from there. The reason why I use a glove when I'm touching the paint, they say you can get oil transfer and all that into the paint. Well, whatever. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't use a glove. Today I just want to use gloves. Keep my my model hands look clean today. Funny thing is though, right? Under these gloves, there's sweat. And your hands are sweating, right? So if you have a hole in your gloves, guess what? You're getting sweat in your paint. So, which is pretty funny. But I don't have any hole in my glove, I don't think. Alright, I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good. I'm gonna clean this off. Oops. I'm gonna come back right through here. Feel it up. Now I figured out how to use this camera stand. And so when I'm going through this, in my mind, I'm seeing a pattern. So I'm just not just like randomly moving all over the place. I kind of go in my brain like a block section, okay? So as I'm moving, either I'm moving longitudinal or vertical, whatever the case may be, but I'm conscious of where I'm sanding so I'm not gonna miss any area. So I got a pattern. That's my own like mental system on how I attempt this stuff. Try to keep it wet. Trying to keep it moving. Whew. Alright, so I'm coming back through here. This is where I started. Come up here like so. Come back on the top. Go this way. It is just primer. It is just primer. So far, no burn throughs. It's good. Hope if you're still with me, kudos for you. I could say it's kind of like watching paint dry, but it's like watching sand. But it's like watching a guy do some sanding. Watching paint dry will be the next video. Alright, let's get down here. If you guys remember down here, I'll bring the camera back. Right here. Specifically, right? Remember that from video 1? Remember how it was all pitted up in there? Well, that primer, that sandable primer really filled it in and really got it nice and smooth. Filled in those whole low areas. I'm really happy with it. That was my main chief concern, was this front. After driving through one periodic winter when I was up in the northern state of Michigan, I was doing all I could to keep oil on the carriage of this car and keeping it dry. I had a little garage and I would oil the frame and oil everything. Whoa. I had a little backpack oiler. Be out there in the wintertime just throwing oil on this thing, constantly oiling the frame and putting oil in between the door seams and everything I could so the heck I could get the heck out of that state. But I believe it worked, because there was no major rust. Alright, I'm wrapping this up. Wrapping this up in terms of sanding. We're going to be getting ready for some paint. I don't see any major massive areas of concern. So I think we'll be okay. Let me go ahead and wipe this down. Guess if you want to watch it, really spray some water and I'm gonna wipe the sand, the sand and debris off it with a clean microfiber cloth. Yeah. Just want to get into the stuff to dry on there. Shoot. I just wipe down. Yeah, you can see a little bit of the stuff on there, right? It's all right. It's all right. Alright, well that's good enough for the moment. I'm gonna have to prep it again when I get ready for paint, which is the next video. But let's let's take a look at what we got here. I don't know if my camera will pick it up, but as you saw from day 2 part 1, you know, you saw all those gray areas, right? Well, no gray areas now. That primer did its job. And I've come to find doing any type of work, you gotta prep really good. I guess anybody can spray or something, drive fast in straight lines when you're going straight, but man, when the details come out, this is where you got to be on your game. Yes, sir. So I try to focus on those small details when I can. Fun thing is when customers want you to do their car, and now you're getting paid to do it. Lordy, pressure's on, right? So anything you can do to practice, just practice, 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 practice. Put those hours in, put those reps in. Practice, practice, practice. Practice may come close to perfect. Granted, I'm out here on a somewhat light, breezy day, working outside, 80-degree temps, humidity's right up there. Not quite sweating, but I got a little, you know, on my brow here. I'm not gonna call it sweat. You won't ever see me sweat. But but other than that, like I said, I'm working on the best conditions I can. And sometimes this is all you can do. This is what you can do to get something done, right? So that's it right there. That's primer. She's getting ready for paint right now. So like I say, if I can do it, you guys can do it better. And I just want to encourage you to just excuse me, do a little bit of training, get some knowledge in you. Maybe what I show you might help you. Shoot, it can't be worse than half the things I see going on out there. Alright. Anyway, I'm just fiddling. But other than that, this is ending part 2 of day 2. I'm going to move on to number 3. And I'll see you on the next one.